Web of Lies by Teddy Snuggletale for comfy corner time. Twiggy sneaked into the cosy creche, tiptoeing through the endless lines of leafy cots filled with sleepy grubs. One noise would send a wave of wails over the peaceful scene. Finally, she arrived at the kitchen. Oh gosh! Twiggy was surprised to see Matron, but not half as surprised as Matron was to see her. Matron fluttered her majestic monarch wings. "Back so soon?" she asked, her voice tinged with surprise. Twiggy panicked. Mind racing, she replied, Yes, ran so tired." Twiggy had to think on her feet. She wiped her forehead with a big gesture, crumpling to the floor in a dramatic faint. Matron raised her eyebrows. Pondered a second. And still unconvinced, rushed to her aid. That evening, Matron summoned a hushed assembly. Uncle Mo's wings flickered, guiding all together. "Listen closely," Matron commanded, her voice stern. "The rules are clear. Stay away from the spider's domain." Her warning echoed out, leaving a trail of shivers among the attentive caterpillars. Uncle Moth soothed the frightened baby grubs with a soft, fluffy hug. "Leaf collection will continue at dawn. Beware of those cunning spiders," she finished. "Psst, psst, Twiggy!" Tango nudged her awake. "That was a close one," whispered Twiggy's friend. "Be quiet and go to sleep," begged Twiggy, tired and slightly annoyed that she'd nearly been caught. "What happened?" persisted Tango, his orange body almost glowing in the moonlight. "I told her I ran all the way, but I didn't tell her which way," replied Twiggy with a wry, proud smile. Tango and Twiggy sneaked off the beaten path into the untamed woods. Spider eyed them with greed. "Do you wish to pass?" he asked silkily. "Yes, please," smiled the friendly caterpillars as they followed the cunning spider through his wicked webs. "See you soon, friends," he grinned, a sly glint in his eye. Tango shivered slightly. "Something about spider creeps me out," he whispered. Twiggy chuckled. "Don't worry, it's all about knowing how to handle them, just like I do with Matron," she said with a wink. The friends relished their free time, munching leaves and resting. "No work till the others arrive, agreed?" declared Twiggy. Although thrilled, Tango felt a pang of guilt. Soon caterpillars filed into the clearing, faces red and sweaty. "He finally made it then!" exclaimed Twiggy, giggling. A large blister throbbed on little Ruby's toe. Exhausted, she collapsed. All day the caterpillars worked. One by one their bundles grew. "Seeing as you're all so tired," said Twiggy, "I'll finish the last big bundle and still beat you back." Mischievously, her eyes twinkled. Tango winced at her teasing. Twiggy gestured for him to join her. He hesitated, then declined, distrusting the shortcut. Instead, he chose to help Ruby with her aching foot. Laden with a hefty bundle, Twiggy quickly reached Spider's pass. Just you tonight? Spider asked. Tango chickened out, she grumbled. Spider smiled hungrily as the silly caterpillar wandered aimlessly into his trap. With aching feet and a sore back, Tango and the others arrived at the creche. They exchanged their heavy loads for well-deserved cups of sweet nectar, but one cup remained untouched. "Who's missing?" demanded Matron with concern. "Twiggy stayed back to finish up," Ruby replied. "On her own?" her voice cracking in a mix of anger and fear. "Help! Help!" Twiggy called out, realizing too late Spider's trickery. "No one can hear you, little caterpillar," Spider said with a sly smile. Giggling to himself, he moved away, pondering his next move. Twiggy wriggled, determined not to give up, but the more she struggled, the more stuck she became. Matron and Uncle Mo put together a plan. They would scour the woods either side of the trail. Tango, heavy with guilt, shouted, "She took a shortcut!" All eyes fell upon him. "Spider lets us past. He's nice, really." Tango's voice trailed off into a sob. "Spider!" shrieked Matron. Uncle Mo darted through the woods, Matron fluttering hot on his tail. Twiggy's faint cries of "Help!" pricked their antennae. Swooping in, Uncle Mo tackled Spider, then, without a moment to lose, began severing the sticky threads with a twig. Matron's heart sank at the sight of Twiggy, her dear little caterpillar, trapped and terrified. Back in the safety of the creche, Twiggy made her apologies. "I'm so sorry. I've been mean to everyone," she whimpered. "Spider lied to me." Her face flushed red and indignant with betrayal. "How does it feel to be deceived?" asked Matron. Twiggy shook her head. "It feels awful." At that moment, she understood. Only the shimmering thread of truth can untangle you from the sticky web of lies.